This conference will now be recorded.
Well, good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Wayne Mitchell, and with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, it's great to have all of you folks with us today. Um, I do want to let you know that, as you heard a second ago, this call is being recorded and will be posted later today on the Chamber's YouTube website. I do want to let you know, too, that our members of the media are certainly welcome to participate, and we're thrilled to have them with us today. Uh, and excuse me. And yeah, we look forward to hearing our presenter this morning, who I have the pleasure of introducing. And First of all, we're pleased to have with us today Tori Huddleston, who is the director of Main Street Nacogdoches. She's going to give us an update of some of the most recent activities down there and the planning process. And at the same time, hopefully we'll respond to questions you folks might have as well. So with that in mind, good morning, Tori, and welcome to the conference call.
Good morning. So real fast, Wayne, I think I need permission to share my screen. Can you grant that for me real fast?
I see Kelly nodding her head, and that means that she's going to share your screen instantly here. So there you go.
Oh, awesome. All right, so forgive me. I'm not too savvy whenever it comes to sharing screens on here, so let me see if I get this right.
That looks pretty good.
Okay, y'all can see everything. All right, so I think, oops. Yes, I am not the most savvy person when it comes to slideshows and stuff, so forgive me. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not the best. So good morning. I am Tori Huddleston. I'm the Main Street Manager. So quick little background for me. Something that I do love to share is I am a BIN. Do y'all see that? I'm sorry. Okay, y'all are good. I am a BIN. I was born in Nacogdoches, and my family moved away to get into the church camp ministry when I was 2. So after graduating from college at Wayland Baptist in Plainview, Texas, I worked for the city of Plainview for the Main Street program there for about 7 years. And as soon as I heard about Nacogdoches needing some help, I came running. So I'm very excited to be here. And yeah, I've loved Nacogdoches so far. I think it's been a great town. So let's see. Trying to figure out how to change the slides on here now. Here we go. So a very brief definition of Main Street. I generally like to give my elevator speech for when somebody asks me what's Main Street. Every town has a Main Street, not necessarily. It is a basic mix between economic development, historic preservation, and it provides a conduit for the community to get together. When Main Street was established, it was made in 1980 through the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The country had started noticing a need to help our downtowns again. A lot of cities had the highways created and a bunch of shopping malls, and so that kind of took shopping and economic development from downtown to the highways and into big box stores. And so that's when Main Street was created and why. Main Street has helped over 2,000 communities, and as you can see on the screen, Main Street America is the overarching project, and that's through the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Texas was one of the first Main Street state programs that was created, and so that is housed under the Texas Historical Commission, and it's called the Texas Main Street Program. There is also a Texas Downtown Association that kind of is a catch-all that was created 5 years after the Texas Main Street program. And that is kind of an asset for communities that aren't quite ready to become a Main Street city, but they still want to have that resource, those networking communities, and some educational options as well. And so under all of that, we have Nacogdoches Main Street program. We are housed under the Community Services Department. And so I answer directly to Jessica Sal and Brian Bray, the director and assistant director for the Community Services Department. They've been pretty great so far, so I can't complain yet. And then I also have an advisory board that I also have, they help me with getting a lot of our tasks done as well. And so that's kind of how we are structured within the city. We have 12 board members on our board as well. So Nacogdoches became a Main Street city in 1997. And so we're going pretty strong. We kind of got in late in the game, but we're still going strong, so I can't complain there. A kind of misconception that we have is Main Street just throws parties. It's actually, my favorite part about it is it's an economic driver for the community. And so whenever you're looking at general concentration of where tax money is coming from, downtowns are generally the most concentrated areas where you get a lot of your economic tax income from. So that's really fun to see. And then speaking of parties, saying that we don't plan that many parties, our first one something that we do very big is our wine swirl. This is our main fundraiser for downtown. And so with the funds that we take from this, we help with our beautification grants that we have. We help with our holiday season and Christmas decor as well. And so the wine swirl, we hold this every year. We believe that this past year was our 15th year. The beginning date for wine swirl is a little fuzzy. And so that's kind of what I'm going with. And that means that 2024 will be our Sweet 16. So I think that's just fun. So we're keeping it at that. This year for the wine swirl, we had 20 wineries involved. We had 5 food trucks. And then we added a few new things this year with 15 restaurants that came to downtown away from their business to serve samples and appetizers to attendees. And we also had a VIP night, which was also very popular. These two things were an idea from one of the Main Street board members, and it played off beautifully. We had some great partnerships with a lot of local volunteers and organizations. And so me walking into this event, hearing about it on my first day, thinking that since it's on April 1st, they might be playing a joke on me. I'm really happy to see that it was true. They weren't trying to joke me, and it turned out amazing. This year, we only raised about $25,000, which is a little low for us. But we also had some extra expenses with trying to figure out a way to make this event worth the restaurants their while. And so we were happy to have a little extra cost for that, for something that was so well received to the community. So like I mentioned, with the funds that we raise with the wine swirl, a big one that we do is our beautification grants. We want downtown to be not just a desirable place for the community to shop, but a place that a business owner wants to set up their business. We want it to be a place that is viable for them as a business person. And so one way that we do that is we have created the beautification grant for downtown. It's a reimbursement grant for up to $1,500. It's not too much, but it does help with getting some paint on your buildings or fixing your doors or installing a window, something kind of simple. All of these grants are reviewed by our Main Street board, and they are usually granted back to the applicant usually within a few weeks after they turn in all of their receipts. It is a reimbursement grant, so they have to put in the money first, do the work, and then we can reimburse afterwards. Other grants that we have that Main Street doesn't necessarily provide is the Historic Landmark Preservation Committee, they have their historic restoration grant. This is for all of the Nacogdoches historic districts, and so it's not just for downtown, but it's still a really big asset to have whenever somebody is looking for a way to help with updating their building. The reimbursement grant, or the historic restoration grant, is a reimbursement grant, and it matches up to 50% of the project's cost. And so it could be, those are dispersed on a case-by-case basis. The Nacogdoches Economic Development Corporation is also willing to help wherever they can, and they have recently put through a fire suppression system matching grant for a business downtown as well. And so there's a lot of forces that are wanting to make people see that downtown is a viable place to work. And so just some very quick success stories for our Main Street Beautification Grant. Here's a few of our latest winners of those grants. One is Alex Photography. She recently moved to downtown, and she is now on Church Street, if you have not heard. And she needed some help to paint the front of her building. A lot of the trim along the windows was kind of cracked and peeling, and she put up new paint and her signage, and it kind of just brought that building back to life. A Stretchy R over on Pecan Street, they updated the back facade of their building. They do have some customers that come in through the back door, and the grout on the brick was kind of old and getting kind of dilapidated, and so they asked for a grant for that, and it's made a huge difference. And then the most recent, if you might have seen this post yesterday, is the 3 businesses that are at 123 East Main Street. It's the Boss Light, Nacogdoches T-shirt Company, and Antiques. They updated their front door of their building. They had a little bit of water damage at the base of their door. The paint was peeling, and just putting on some kick plates and a new fresh coat of paint makes the world of a difference. And so we're really excited to see that these are helping. And so another one, I know I keep saying that we don't throw that many events, and I know this looks like events on your screen, but these are actually strategic ways to get people to shop downtown. Most of these, our biggest thing is getting people to shop. And so Downtown Restaurant Week is coming up here pretty soon. This is last year's poster. We focus on our restaurants downtown. We get people to eat at our downtown restaurants and bars, cafes and diners, just to kind of show what downtown Nacogdoches has to offer food-wise. Main Sweet Treats and Beats, try to say that one 5 times fast. That is our tax-free weekend promotion. So again, instead of having a lot of people go out of town or go to the malls for their tax-free weekend shopping, we want to show that downtown has just as much to offer as those big box stores. And with that, we also provide a bunch of food trucks and shopping vendors and live music, just to make it a more desirable place to be. And then in September and October, we go back to showcasing our restaurants with the Brick Street Burger Battle. Last year was our first one, and it was a huge hit. So we're going to try and do it again and make it bigger and better. And again, we're showcasing our restaurants. It's a way to get the customers involved with meeting their businesses as well. And so customers can go and eat at all of the restaurants that are participating and decide which burger they think is the best. And so the restaurants, they get a fun trophy if they win. So there's bragging rights for the restaurant. And then participants who did put in their vote for their favorite restaurant, they're also entered into a drawing, and so they get a cash prize as well. So it's kind of a win-win for both groups. Merry Christmas Market is usually around November 11th and 12th, the second weekend in November. And again, it's just kind of kicking off the holiday season to get people into downtown to start getting their holiday gifts ready and starting to make those relationships with those businesses. And then Waffle Fest is usually right after Thanksgiving on Shop Small Saturday. And this is a really fun way for customers to not really travel to go shopping for those big shopping weekends, but to stay in town, try some wassail, and get to know their business owner, because they're going in, they're talking to the business owner, they're tasting the wassail, and those relationships do turn into return customers, and so that's something that we always strive for as well. And a lot of these events, like I mentioned, they are to help promote shopping in town. We want those taxpayer monies, those taxpayer funds to stay in town, and so that's a great way to do it. And so something that I am very happy to share, it's an accomplishment that I kind of fell into, is the Texas Downtown Conference in October. So I have attended these conferences for the past 7 years, and I have always loved going to the Texas Downtown Conference. I've always wanted to be a city that hosts it. I just didn't know that I needed to move to Nacogdoches to do it. So I'm very happy to share that with y'all. Some very big notes about it is we will be hosting 200 to 300 downtown historic preservation, economic development professionals. There's also Chamber of Commerce professionals that will be there, and they are all expected to attend. These people, they shop, they explore, they like to experience the town for what it is and not the facade, the pretty stuff that we try to show. They want to see how we do things. And so for that whole week, we are the example. And so that's a very, very fun place to be, because I know I have taken things that I have noticed from other towns back to previous cities to say, hey, this town has done this project this way. What if we try that here? A common theme that we have is rip it off and repeat it. And that's something that we do all the time in the Main Street community. So something that I do also want to share is this is a way for the entire community to get involved. So it's not just downtown. We will have sponsorship opportunities as well. And your money will be going straight to the Texas Downtown Association. And you will be reaching out to, if you decide to sponsor, you'll be reaching out to hundreds of professionals that, just like you, are local minded. They're wanting to keep their taxpayer money in Texas, in the community, to help the community grow. And so if you have a service or a product that you're kind of looking to kind of spread out throughout the state, this is a great way to do it. But yeah, so overall, that is kind of a very brief explanation of what Main Street is. I am still new to the area and new to my position, so this is short, sweet, and to the point. So my contact information is up there, and then of course I can't be presenting about Main Street if I don't have a shameless plug about following us on Facebook. I try to share something as often as possible to keep Main Street in the front of people's news feeds, and remind everybody that this is a great place to shop and play and eat, sleep, drink, everything in downtown Nacogdoches. So other than that, that's kind of all I got. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to pass it over.
Well, first of all, thank you, Tori, for the great work you folks are doing. And that conference is really exciting. That's a real get for Nacogdoches to have that many professionals coming to town and hopefully taking advantage of all of Nacogdoches has to offer. That's great. Tori, is it difficult in your capacity in balancing the historic objectives against the economic development objectives, and then the objectives of the folks you represent, the down street merchants?
I think they can kind of go hand in hand. That is something that Nacogdoches is very fortunate about, is we're proud of being the first town in Texas and proud of sharing our history. And so that lends to both economic development and historic preservation going hand in hand. But you can also, there has been times where they do need to kind of be separate in downtown, but our historic sites manager here in Nacogdoches, Veronica Amo, she's been great to work with, and anytime I can partner with her, I'm happy to do so.
That's great. Any other questions with Tori? Well, Tori, thank you very much for taking the time to give us that overview today, and we appreciate the great work you folks are doing and continue to do.
Thank you.
We'll move on the agenda here. I don't see anybody from the city of Nacogdoches uh, on the line, but we do have somebody from the Nacogdoches Economic Development Corporation. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Good, good, good. Well, we are having just a good start to summer over here. We had our new intern start on June 5th, so this is her second week. She's actually an economics intern, but lucky us, she does a little bit of marketing here and there too. So she's been amazing, and she's actually funded by the Carey Project. So that's really awesome through SFA. Other than that, we're just ramping along through summer. Got a lot of things kind of going up the pipeline, and Larissa will be back on Monday. She has been on vacation, so we are excited to have her back. And yeah, that's my update.
Fantastic. I appreciate that. Any questions of Casey? Well, thank you, Casey. I appreciate it very much. I'm going to ask my colleague, Kelly Augustine, who's going to sneak out to a pipe cutting here in a few minutes. Not a ribbon cutting, a pipe cutting. So, Kelly, what's that all about?
Well, when Strickland Plumbing and HVAC opens a new office in Nacogdoches, they prefer to cut a pipe. And hey, we're game for it. So that's going to be at 11:45 today. Their office is at 1803 Southwest Stallings Drive. If you're looking at the map, that's a little bit north of Highway 7 on Stallings. So please join us if you can. They have Kicks 105 out there. They're going to have prize drawings. So it's going to be a fun celebration, and we're looking forward to being there with them. And next week, we have a couple more ribbon cuttings. We're back to our red ribbon next week. And on Tuesday, we'll be with the Leadership Nacogdoches 2023 class. They have finished their class project with Family Crisis Center of East Texas. That's the office here in Nacogdoches. And they have remodeled a room there that children and families will be able to enjoy. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to it. It'll be Tuesday, I believe that's the 20th at 4:30 p.m. So you have time to hang out, check out the room, maybe play with some of the toys they bought, new stuff, and get to know that class a little better too, and what the Family Crisis Center is doing. Then on Thursday, we have a ribbon cutting with Meadow Ridge Outdoors, also at 4:30 at their location just outside our city limits. And coming up with business development, this is exciting. I got to speak with Jennifer Gage with Axley and Rhodey yesterday. She has two QuickBooks specialists who are going to do an overview of QuickBooks. And I got a little more information from Jennifer. I understand, because I am not a QuickBooks expert, I don't use it myself. There is a difference between the desktop version and the online version, and that sometimes creates a mystery. Even if you've been using the QuickBooks desktop, maybe you just want to see what the online offers. This is your chance to do that. They'll just be pointing out some of the features, some of the ways you can use the online version of QuickBooks in your business, the reports that you can run, the way that you can see the activity in your business through the financials, which is all very important for us. So free of charge, but we'd love to have your RSVP for that meeting. The seminar itself, it's a lunch and learn, so we'll be holding it from 11:30 to 1. You bring your lunch. The chamber will have some sweet stuff and drinks for you to enjoy as well on Wednesday, June 21st, and it will be here at the chamber. And then coming up, rounding out our month of June, which, boy, that it started fun and it's ending with a lot of activities as well. On June 29th, let the chamber bookend your day. We have a start with breakfast at the Fredonia Hotel. Eggs and Issues will be held on that Thursday, June 29th, with our featured speaker, Ms. Mary Ann Rojas, with SFA's Carey Center. So she'll be filling us in on the activities they're doing in our East Texas region to train and boost economic development here, as well as ending our day on that June 29th day with a Live After 5, the fun business after hours event our chamber holds each month, hosted this month by Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital. So our board member, Amelia Commander, is inviting the community over to her workplace on Mound Street. Please come to the hospital on the 29th and have some good drinks and from R&K Distributor, some tasty treats from Tomei Catering, and her to win some awesome door prizes. She has a good list of prizes there for us. And of course, our chamber members are entered in a cash prize drawing, but you have to be present to win, right, Wayne? Okay, so I'm gonna paste the link to our online calendar so you can keep up, put these events on your calendars, and we'll see you around town.
Thank you. Any questions of Kelly? And Kelly, I think you and our colleagues had an event this past week and it went pretty well, huh?
We're getting some amazing reports from all the partners we work with for blueberries. Texas Blueberry Festival presented by Tipton Ford. I'm still in a blueberry blur, y'all. I'm so sorry. We were looking at lists of things to do, and you know, you go through that blueberry hangover a little bit. I need to go get a little bit more blueberry. I do know the blueberry place is open today, starting the season. So if you needed more blueberries fresh off the bush, you can go to the blueberry place now and pick them.
That's great. Well, I want you to know I destroyed one of those Brookshire blueberry pies, arguably the best blueberry pie I've ever had in my life. Those things are legendary. If you didn't pick up one, you really missed an opportunity. So thank you, Kelly. Well, I'm pleased to see. I noticed we don't have anybody from SFA online. As most of you folks know, sadly, they're dealing with a rather serious internet intrusion, and apparently they're right now they're working to restore the service if they haven't already restored it. So we wish them well and keep them in our thoughts here as they struggle with that situation. We are pleased to have with us Caroline Garner, the president and CEO of the Nacogdoches Area United Way. Caroline, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Wayne. How are you? Good to see you. And you might notice we also have the former president and CEO of United Way online with us today too. We had a meeting of the CEOs. He actually brought me breakfast this morning, which was nice. So Jerry's still living United with us. Big week for us here at United Way because we have our annual Day of Caring volunteer event coming up this Friday morning. We've got 90-ish volunteers who are planning to go out in the community and do projects at, I think we have 8 different sites. Mostly these are our partner agency sites, such as Love Inc. and Family Crisis Center and CASA, Solid Foundation, Hope. Who else am I forgetting? The Girl Scout Camp. We also are doing a project for the city, going around and doing some touch-up work at some of our parks. We're coordinating that with HAL, the Parks Advocacy League. That's a tough one to spit out for some reason. We're very excited about that event repeating. I think this is our 6th Day of Caring. We started in 2017. It'll happen Friday morning. We have a breakfast for our volunteers at the county annex. Free breakfast sponsored by eTech. We have shirts sponsored by Eaton. Eaton also provides our engineer to coordinate this project. We need an engineer with all the projects that are going on to match the right labor. And Bill Dietrich is on our board. He's actually a retired Eaton engineer, but Eaton has been a big manager partner of this event since it started. And then let's see, NIBCO is sponsoring the snacks for our volunteers to keep them energized as they work. We have a whole lot of door prizes, such as a night at the Fredonia Hotel. R&K donates door prizes, Commercial Bank of Texas, a long list. Anyway, so we're very excited about that event for our volunteers this Friday morning. And if any of you are listening and want to volunteer with us, it's not too late to jump on. Just let us know and we'll get you assigned to a project. And let's see. Also, we are going through our annual allocations process where our partner agencies reapply, or perhaps some new agencies who want to be United Way partners. We currently fund 19 local nonprofit agencies. Every year we reevaluate where do we think the money should go next year. So we started that to make our plans for funding for 2024. So the agencies this week have put in their grant applications, and over the next month or so, we have a team of 20 plus volunteers, but basically our board of directors at United Way that's going to review those applications and decide where the United Way funding is needed next year. So lots happening this week at United Way. We also continue to be a part of the Emergency Food and Shelter Grant Program managed by FEMA. Back in March or so, we were allocated over $25,000 directly. It's a program that Congress allocates to FEMA, who allocates to United Way Worldwide, who allocates to local United Ways based on poverty and unemployment statistics. And we just received notice that we received an additional $9,300 from what was set aside for the state of Texas. So our state set aside fund will bring, in addition to 25,900, let's say 26,000, we have another 9,000 that we're going to get to allocate to agencies in Nacogdoches. We're very excited about that. I guess only other thing, well, a couple of things. Boys and Girls Club has sent out a save the date. That's one of our fine partner agencies. We're doing a project there. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we're going to be there for Day of Caring as well. They have their annual bingo coming up on August 26th. So save the date for that. It's going to be Yacht Rock Bingo. Yacht Rock Bingo sounds like a pretty fun theme. So get your yacht attire ready for that. And I don't know if Erin might want to say something about that, but we are in the early phases. We've had 2-3 meetings or so on what we hope is going to be evolved into a wonderful partnership between Cary and United Way for a volunteer project. And Erin is really integral, excuse me, an important part of getting this. She has brought people to the table, and we've gotten this discussion going. So anyway, Erin, would you like to tell more about that? I know it's just what we're hoping right now, but.
Sure. Marianne Rojas will present at Eggs and Issues when she presents about the Give 5 program. And really excited that Caroline and the United Way see the importance of it. We'll be partnering with Better Together, Community Collaborative, and some SFA entities, I believe, to bring about this program that will match retirees with volunteer opportunities to eliminate several issues that we're facing: senior isolation, the lack of volunteers in our nonprofits, and several other things that are a result of those two major problems. So we're hoping to get that kicked off, and I know Marianne will present more. It's like I kind of feel like it's this big exciting secret, so I hate to say too much. So come to Eggs and Issues so that you can hear more. It's going to be awesome.
And excuse me, Erin, while we've got you, could we have you give the NASD report?
Sure. As you might know, summer is flying by, and so the first day that teachers come back is August 1st, and that is right around the corner. So we're getting ready for back to school convocation. That will be August 11th, and the first day of school for children is August 16th. And also, we'd just like to thank ServPro for helping us get back into our office. We were flooded out here at our district support center due to that flooding that we had, and we've been housed in Fredonia Elementary and other campuses around the district. We've been back in our office maybe 2 weeks. Some people have only been back a week, but man, ServPro was on the job right away, drying out huge fans everywhere and getting us all taken care of. So the district is super thankful for that business who partners with us to do so much philanthropically and then actually practically this time. So appreciate ServPro so much and glad to be back in my office.
Well, that's great, Erin, and it's hard to believe that we're this far into summer already. I'm looking forward to the students returning in just a matter of weeks. So there you go. Well, I'm pleased to see, talk about great colleagues and collaboration. Ashley Morgan on the phone. Our folks at Visit Nacogdoches, as usual, are instrumental in executing the Texas Blueberry Festival. And Ashley, good morning. It's great to have you online.
Good morning. Thank you, Wayne. If there's anyone that doesn't know me, my name is Ashley Morgan, as he stated. I'm the creative content director here at Visit Nacogdoches, but I'm also the interim director. As many of you know, that Sherry left us last week, and so we're in this weird kind of limbo period. Our board is meeting tomorrow to talk about doing an executive director search, so we will keep you all updated on that. We are so excited to help y'all out with the Blueberry Festival. It's beneficial to every entity in Nacogdoches that you can think of. And just a quick little report about that. Our front desk staff reported just between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. over 100 people had already come in, and that's just insane. You know, it's early in the morning, it's on a Saturday, and these people are all coming in droves. So we're so excited about that, for them to see what all we have to offer. You know, the visitor center doubles as a museum. And while I'm on that topic, Erin and Carolyn, I'm sure that we're on your radar, but just keep us in mind for your seniors looking for volunteer opportunities. We have quite a few of those here, and they say they love it, and it's a great way for them to stay involved in the community and talk to people and meet people from all over the world. So just keep us in mind in that. But back to the Blueberry update, we had multiple comments of how wonderful the festival was, and they loved coming into the visitor center and getting a break in the AC and using our restrooms. We did note less restroom usage than in the past, and I think that's because of the festival park new restrooms and also other restroom opportunities downtown. So thank y'all for kind of relieving the weight from us, because that gets difficult to keep up with those lines and, you know, refilling things. So thank y'all very much about that. And we had lots of merchandise sales, app downloads. We got some new reviews on Google and Facebook. So just that small little anecdote of impact is, and that's just from this first Monday after the festival. So we're excited to look at other impacts in the coming weeks on our hotel industry and downtown businesses with Tori and as well as other businesses in town. So again, we can't thank y'all enough for that amazing festival, and I think we're all a little happy it's behind us now and we can move on to a slower summer maybe. And then let's see, next week I'm going to be gone all week at Travel and Tourism College in College Station. I'm really excited to bring home some information from my colleagues and peers and just to try to improve wherever we can and learn more. This is my first one. It's a 3-year program actually, so I'm really excited to get started on that. And then last but not least, this Saturday night, we're going to have a Knack at Night outdoor movie. This is on Pilar Street behind the CVB in between City Hall and our backstage. This is free to the public thanks to 3 wonderful sponsors. Main Street sponsored it, as well as Eubank and Loblolly Properties. We're showing Monsters, Inc., so it's a family-friendly event, and it's also a pet-friendly event. So bring your pets on leashes, of course, and bring chairs. And we'll have some vendors out helping us out, keeping you fed and hydrated during the movie. If it rains, we will move it into the CVB downstairs basement, which if you are all not familiar, it's the old children's library, but it's a great place to kind of hide from the rain and have like a little, you know, indoor sleepover type situation. But again, that is free. So please tell all of your friends that have children to come join us on Saturday night. This is our group sales coordinator, Shelby Lero's project, and it's kind of a riff on when we had our drive-in movies at the airport. So we're just trying to provide a family-friendly thing to do on the weekends. So with that, if y'all have any questions, let me know, and I'll put my contact information in the box. Everything can be directed towards me right now during this interim period.
Thank you, Ashley. Any questions of Ashley? Well, again, thank you, Ashley and Mike and all of you folks for the great work that you do. I know that this crowd size, I'm surprised Josh hasn't called me yet and asked me what the numbers were projected. I'm somewhere between 25,000 and 1 million, Josh. That's the range that I'm using. So, but I suspect Ashley will have better numbers than I will at some point. But all kidding aside, it was a massive crowd. It started at 8, and at 2, it was still shoulder to shoulder on Main Street. It was amazing. So thanks, everybody. I do see that, I'm pleased to see that we have our friend Gary Lee. Gary, anything going on with Sawmill 6, man?
Yes, in case you don't know, by chance, Sawmill 6 Man is relatively new. We have two functions. It's an NIL, name, image, and likeness. This program was started in 2021. NCAA made it possible to fund athletes, college level athletes. And we've chosen here, with the guidance you saw him last session here, Matt Rocco, and I'm the outreach coordinator. So I got a dose of the likeness image part of it on Saturday. I had the players, all of them, tall as they are, 7-foot people. That's why my neck is really hurting. I invited them to come to the race, the Blueberry 5K, 10K. I knew that they would not show up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and at about 5:50, they called me and they were at the site and ready to go. I asked them what they wanted to eat, and I ended up funding 10 sausage McGriddles, which are awful. I had one, and also 5 egg McMuffins and plenty of the little potato things. So, and they took that down in a total of 8 minutes. But they had a great time. We had them at the slides at Children's Festival Park, and it was fun to see the guys coming down slides with little kids. I hope that was their shorts they had on. They played pickleball. They came around the information center and did a number of other things, and just had a blast that day. So you probably saw the Lumberjack basketball team around there. I think you also saw some of the football team at the breakfast. They were at the breakfast and all that. So thank you, Blueberry Festival people, for putting on that event. And it was very, very cool for those young men who had never been to something like that. Several of them said, I've never seen anything like this. And so that was a good experience for them. Money for Sawmill 6 is coming on in. If you're interested in donating to us, we now can offer a nonprofit exemption for you. And you can just give me a call. Kelly will put my name and number up on the box or whatever. And thank you, Kelly, when she gets back, I guess. And we'll be glad to hear from you. So that's my report. Hey, Caroline, did you? This is from my visit with Caroline. I was very proud. There was something that happened for Do Dat Barbecue. Did you report that out at some point in time? Are you comfortable doing it? I hope that would be your profits.
Well, completely comfortable, sure. That was end of April, but I can't remember. You know, it took a little while to get the numbers tied down, and I think I was out of town for the last meeting of this sort. So perhaps I haven't reported it, but thanks to increased attendance, increased team participation, increased support, including grant funding we received from East Texas Community Health Services, support from REK is always wonderful. We profited right around $30,000 from Do Dat Barbecue, which was awesome.
It's awesome. I was like, awesome. Wow, that's just really
great.
Neat.
It was, yeah, thanks, Gary. It's great support from the community, and it's all going to go back out into the community. So.
Well, that's great. Any questions of Gary Lee?
Anybody want to talk about NIL? You can call me. I get a lot of interesting questions about NIL. Some are like why, and it's easy to explain why. We need to be in the top tier of recruiting, and in order to recruit at the college level now, one of the questions that new people coming on board, either from junior college or from a high school, is do you have an NIL, and what is the position of it, and all of those kind of things financially, and is it active, and what have you. My desire, Matt's desire, everybody, we hope that the NIL spreads to all of the athletes at SFASU, and we're working towards that end. So there you go. That's enough for me, Wayne. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to visit with you all, and I miss you all when I'm kind of in here a lot. So talk
Thank
to you
you.
later.
Thank you, Gary Lee. And Kelly has posted your contact information, so feel free to
All right.
contact Gary Lee. So I see we have Cassandra Stokes from the Small Business Development Center. Cassandra, do you have anything you'd like to add, or?
Hey there. Let me get my camera on there real quick. Sure, I have a couple of things I can share with you. I was just sitting here working on while listening. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm the Small Business Development Center's business advisor for Nacogdoches County. I'm actually celebrating my 1 year work anniversary today. And so, but we're working on our mid-year review, and it looks like Nacogdoches County, as far as SBDC and what we're doing here, is just going gangbusters. So last year in 2022, for our fiscal year, we had 5 business starts, and as of mid-year this year, we're already at 3. So it looks like we will exceed last year's numbers on that. Last year, we had capital injections of $1.7 million, and this year so far in Nacogdoches County, we have $2.8 million and halfway through the year. So that's from those 3 business starts. It's been really good. We ended our fiscal year last year with 13 full-time job equivalents, and this year we're already at 30 for Nacogdoches County. And since the beginning of the year, I've had 19 new clients, which means there's a very big need. So we have hired another business advisor that will help cover the county, and so he's really kind of getting his feet wet and learning the ropes. And so you'll probably see him, Lee Harris, more around town as he gets more involved. On the QuickBooks, we were talking about QuickBooks with the chamber coming up. We have a big win for our clients. QuickBooks has partnered with the SBDC to offer 30 to 50% off of 12-month prescriptions for our SBDC clients. They have to be new users to the QuickBooks Online platform, but that's a pretty big win, and so I was excited to hear that. And so if you know of anyone who is wanting to be a new user for the online platform, just contact me, because you can quickly become a client and we can get you hooked up with that discount. And lastly, I have a public service kind of announcement. I was on a Texas taxpayer seminar here recently, and they were talking about claimittexas.org. It's a website for unclaimed property. It can be any financial asset that has been abandoned by the owner for 1 or more years. I go on regularly, but I didn't realize that they were trying to push this initiative now, because it's just getting worse and worse, where people are not claiming their property. The property can be abandoned bank accounts, uncashed checks, overpayments, payroll or vendor checks, unredeemed gift cards, insurance proceeds, and the list just goes on and on. You can go to claimittexas.org, and it's real simple. You put in your name, and I've received money from it several times, and I know lots of other people. I went in and put all my kids' names in there, and found some unclaimed property even for them, and it's a very easy thing to do. So it's claimittexas.org. That's really about it for me.
Thank you, Cassandra. And we'll post that. We'll post that in the chat column as well, so that folks can see if they have any property on their business and or personal end. So That's very
Yeah.
helpful. Appreciate that, and thanks. Those are impressive numbers on the part of the SBDC last year, and even more favorable this year. And I see Kelly has already posted the claimattexas.org number, so there you go. Listen,
Thanks.
anybody else have anything else to announce? If not, I want to thank you all for joining us today. And I do want to thank Tori for giving us a great update on what's going on with Main Street. And I hope you folks all get some rest after this wild past weekend and have a very successful and prosperous next week. Thank you, folks.